9. Earth's electric envelope. E. Influenza. If the atmosphere is, at times, electrified beyond the degree which is usual and necessary to preserve the body in a due state of excitement, the nerves must be too highly excited and under a continued operation of undue stimulus, becoming extremely irritable and subject to debility. Noah Webster, A Brief History of Epidemic and Pestilential Diseases, 1799, page 38. A large, rapid, qualitative change in the Earth's electromagnetic environment has occurred 6 times in history. In 1889, power line harmonic radiation began. From that year forward, the Earth's magnetic field bore the imprint of power line frequencies and their harmonics. In that year exactly, the natural magnetic activity of the Earth began to be suppressed. This has affected all life on Earth. The power line age was ushered in by the 1889 pandemic of influenza. In 1918, the radio era began. It began with the building of hundreds of powerful radio stations at LF and VLF frequencies, the frequencies guaranteed to most alter the magnetosphere. The radio era was ushered in by the Spanish influenza pandemic of 1918. In 1957, the radar era began. It began with the building of hundreds of powerful early warning radar stations that littered the high latitudes of the northern hemisphere, hurling millions of watts of microwave energy skyward. Low frequency components of these waves rode on magnetic field lines to the southern hemisphere, polluting it as well. The radar era was ushered in by the Asian flu pandemic of 1957. In 1968, the satellite era began. It began with the launch of dozens of satellites whose broadcast power was relatively weak. But since they were already in the magnetosphere, they had a big an effect on it as the small amount of radiation that managed to enter it from sources on the ground. The satellite era was ushered in by the Hong Kong flu pandemic of 1968. The other 2 mileposts of technology, the beginning of the wireless era and the activation of the high-frequency active auroral research program HAARP, belong to very recent times and will be discussed later in this book.